Welcome to part 2 of the types of hypotheses for this course. We're going to look at this time comparison hypotheses and look at the different ways that we can compare groups using a prediction in research. Take a moment and look at the definition for a comparison hypothesis. As you can see this time, an hypothesis is being used to make a prediction about a level of one variable as compared to two groups. And so one variable is considered a nominal variable, meaning that it is a category. It is categorical, which allows for two different groups to be observed. Where the other variable is continuous, and so we're looking at the level of one variable and comparing those levels from one group to another. Some of the keywords that are used for this type of hypothesis are difference, higher, less, amount, and level, and we use those as keywords to be able to understand that this is a comparison hypothesis, but also as a clue for what kind of test we should run. Let's look at a sample. So the topic again is going to look at dating among college students. And we're going to use variable 1 as physical attraction and variable 2 as sex, meaning male and female. So group 1 could be represented as male, group 2 could be represented as female, and our other variable, physical attraction, is now considered the continuous variable, or the different levels of measurement. A sample comparison hypothesis statement could be, males will have higher levels of physical attraction than females. Notice some of the keywords being used in that statement, higher, and the prediction being included for this statement. Based on that statement, we would expect that group 1, males, having a higher level of physical attraction compared to group 2, females. A prediction has been made, and we've also talked about what we expect between the groups. That's what makes it a comparison hypothesis. In another sample, let's look at two different variables. This time we're going to compare shyness, or levels of shyness, between sex. Group 1 again will be male, group 2 will be female. And our sample comparison hypothesis will state that females will have lower amounts of shyness than males. Because of this prediction and the keyword, notice lower amounts, we would expect that group 1 males would be able to have lower amounts. However, group 2 females are actually the ones who have lower levels of shyness. In this case, the hypothesis would not be supported because the data is showing something different than what we predicted. However, this is still a comparison hypothesis. Another example looks at shyness and sex, but in this case, this is a null comparison hypothesis. Remember that a null hypothesis does not state a direction. Instead, it just simply states the existence. So in this case, we would state the hypothesis to say there will be no difference in the level of shyness between males and females. Our prediction is that there is no difference that will exist. Again, the key word is difference in there, so we know it's a comparison. In that case, we're predicting that the levels will be the same. It's important to note that if the levels were not the same, then we would have to reject the null hypothesis and state that there is a significant difference between the two groups. In order to run this in SPSS, we would use the independent samples t-test to run and analyze the data. So in SPSS for a comparison hypothesis, you would use the independent samples t-test, or by short, the t-test.